you have to believe in God to be Jewish? Well, in short, no. Jewish tradition is clear that if you're born a Jew or you're converted a Jew, then you're Jewish. Belief doesn't play a part in it at all. Now, in Orthodox tradition, to be born a Jew, that's through the maternal line, and in progressive traditions, that's through the maternal or paternal line. Belief doesn't really come into it. Judaism is an inherently inclusive tradition. We don't mind what you believe in order to be counted. And our first proof of that is in the Torah portion of Bamidbar, which is part of the Torah story that comes in the desert after the exodus from Egypt, after the 10 plagues and slavery and so on. And they decide to do the first census in human recorded history. And the way they do that is that everyone is required to donate a half shekel. Now, you did have to be male because it was a product of its time, but regardless of your belief or behavior, you were still included as part of that. So when did belief in God become relevant to us? Well, it never became hugely relevant, but during the Middle Ages, when Jews were faced with, at the time, an increasingly aggressive Christian milieu around them, and many Jews were living in those Christian countries, Christianity became very interested in what people in their societies were believing and doing. And because the Jews in the main were their only minority, they became interested in the Jews themselves. So Jewish tradition and writing were a response to that, and they start to become more and more interested in the concept of belief. But it doesn't change your Jewish status. And in that belief set, for some, God might be that quite Christian artistic concept of an old bloke with a beard sitting on a cloud. For others, God might be of a different gender. After all, in our own tradition, very occasionally, whilst God is in the dominance referred to in masculine, Hebrew is a gendered language, very occasionally God is referred to in the feminine. So God is not an exclusively masculine concept, but God might also be a set of ethics, spiritual feeling, a belief or a non-belief. The reality is that as Jews, we don't mind. We're an inherently inclusive tradition. And if you're born Jewish or you convert Jewish, then regardless of your belief, you're part of the club.